understand me? FAB, man, get this, man. We got some nice people out here today. You understand me? I'll meet you more and I appreciate, you understand me? You got good people like Fab. He does this all the time, you know. Shit, let's keep the peace, man.
Keep the peace out in Oakland.
Increase the peace, man.
You got the plate. You ready to,
oh man,
you ready to go.
And you know, and I found a brand new pair of pants. They were just staring at me. Brand new pair of pants.
And they were just your size.
They were just my size, man. They were just my size.
Appreciate you.
God bless you. Thank you, Fab.
Have a good day.
All right.
Boxing Ego. I'm here with the man Ramon. He gave his Cotto Canelo prediction. We just seen the fight, so I want to get his afterthoughts. What'd you think of the fight as a whole?
Man, I thought that when you fight somebody and you really want to win, you got to take chances. And I feel like Miguel Cotto ain't really. He fought well, and Freddie Roach, I guess, had a plan or whatever, but he didn't really do what he needed to do to really win. He fought like he wanted to last as opposed to fighting to win. And I thought Canelo looked great. I can't shit on Canelo no more because his defense was sharp. His punches, I didn't realize he was that fast. He made Miguel Cotto look slow. So, I mean, it was a great fight. It could have been better had Miguel Cotto really fought like the old Cotto does, but...
Do you think their game plan was to use movement and they used maybe too much movement?
Yeah, because Miguel Cotto, he moves around on his toes, but he doesn't box off his toes like a black fighter will. He can be on his toes and he'll hit you with something fast and, you know, catch you with something. Miguel Cotto, he was kind of moving around, more so to just avoid taking unnecessary punches and then just wishing he would land something.
Yeah, I kind of got that. It kind of seemed like to me, Cotto, he would have needed to take a stand, and it would have been riskier, but he would have had to like get some respect from Canelo. He's just so big. He had to be on his, like plant his feet.
Yeah, he needed to get respect, and after the 4th round, I looked at his face. He didn't really land a significant punch that actually did anything to Canelo Alvarez. And after the 4th round, I looked at his face. He looked defeated coming out the corner.
Okay, and it sounded like the corner advice was to like kind of turn it up and keep moving and different things like that. There's a lot of controversy. Cotto says he believes he won 8 rounds. How did you have it scored? How many rounds each guy get? Was it a draw like people are saying?
I saw the fight the way the judge that scored it 119. I guess that's a controversial score. That's the one I saw. Because
so
Canelo
lopsided.
Going forward, he was making the fight. He was making Miguel Cotto miss, and he was landing punches. And what Cotto did was effective. He didn't get his ass completely beat. But every round, if you were to score that, it would go to the guy that went forward and was more aggressive and sharper on defense.
Okay. Now, they're saying that allegedly Canelo has 15 days to sign a fight with Gennady Golovkin. After seeing this performance from Canelo, is that fight any different with Golovkin? Can he hold his own, or what do you think? So, after seeing Canelo perform in a pretty dominant performance against Cotto, do you give him a chance against Golovkin, or is it kind of Golovkin all the way still?
I give him a chance because he showed that he can be defensively responsible. And from boxing has taught us all that if a guy is defensively responsible, you can have Mike Tyson's type power. If you cannot land, it is rendered ineffective. And I think that Canelo is fast, he's strong.
You can come by.
And he can make it competitive. And that's what I think. I'm not necessarily picking him to win, because Golovkin is a monster, but I think he can make it competitive and he has a chance in that fight.
Okay. Now, if that fight were happening, the biggest controversy that I read is what division would it happen. He's now the lineal middleweight champion at 160. He's been fighting at Canelo weight at 155. Would you want to see it at 155, 157, 160? What's fair to you?
I'm not going to try to advocate for catchweight because I disagree with catchweights, but if you said you would fight Floyd at 150, whatever, and I understand that Floyd's a junior lightweight originally when he turned pro and he moved up, so it would be a little bit more fair. But if you're gonna say you're gonna fight somebody at 156 or 155 or 153 or 150, whatever, you are obligated to stick by, okay, if this person says no, but this person says yeah, you kind of got to be a man or you're worried about fighting at the weight.
So if it's good for one, it should be good for all?
Right.
Okay. That's fair enough. They're also talking about possibly making, I don't know if Oscar wants to just throw his #1 cash cow in there with Golovkin right off the bat. So they're talking about maybe making a David Lemieux versus Canelo. What do you think in that fight? Is David Lemieux have a shot coming off a loss?
No, because David Lemieux's not smart enough to hit Canelo.
So even with the power, you wouldn't give David Lemieux much of a shot?
No, it kind of gets back to what I was saying about when a guy is just smart and he's got a lot of ring savvy, you're not just going to walk in and just hit him with a big bomb shot and send him home. Especially when he's been fighting pro since he was 15.
So you sound like a little bit different. You giving Canelo some...
I'm giving him his respect because before I would be the first one to say I shit on the guy a lot. And I see how much he got hit by Alfredo Angulo. I seen how he was very, very limited against Erislandy Lara. He looked like a very limited fighter, but since then he looked good. He looked good against Miguel Cotto.
I definitely think Canelo's come a long way. I mean, if you watch the Alfonso Gomez fight, he tried the shoulder roll and he was on the ropes. He was getting tagged, and we seen him in there with the legend in Miguel Cotto. And to me, he was showing some good upper body movement.
Yeah.
Made Canelo or Cotto miss. Well, they made each other miss, but
yeah.
I mean, I would expect that from a veteran like Cotto over the younger 25-year-old. So.
And you know what I notice about Canelo? Because he fights in the upper echelon, where most guys up there are older fighters and they fight the same every single time they fight. I forget that he's young and he's gonna get better every single time he fights. He's gonna get better. Up until that point where he hits his plateau. And then next thing you know, he's 35 years old fighting some new guy who's young.
That's how boxing works, too.
That's how boxing works. But up until that point, he's gonna, I believe, fight at the highest level of world championship caliber boxing and look great against anybody, Gennady, Golovkin, whoever.
Now, it looked like with Cotto moves different, like you said, than maybe a other fighter, a black fighter, a Mayweather, Lara, anything like that.
Yeah.
So it looks like he still has some level of trouble cutting off the ring on guys who move in general.
Yeah.
What does he need to do to all the way sell you as like super elite? He could hold the torch for pound. Like, what competition would you like to see him fight? Or is he already at that level now?
I think in fairness, because I can always say what he could do better, but in fairness, not every fighter is perfect. And what he has now, he's learned to use it in a way where to beat a guy whether he can cut the ring off or not. Because the way he fights, if you stand in front of him, you're gonna be hurt badly. So he can't cut a ring off like Golovkin. And I don't expect him to, but for the guys, he can put him in enough position to have him in trouble anytime during the fight.
Okay, so pretending you were the promoter, you're Golden Boy, who would you put Canelo in there with next, being realistic?
Being realistic, I would make the Lemieux fight. It's an in-house fight. I would actually get him like 3 in-house fights. I would get him maybe a Lemieux fight. And then because he can't cut the ring off, I would get him a Hassan Indom and see how he does against a guy that can move and that's tough. And then maybe get him one more, just something to get him ready for a Golovkin fight.
Okay, and then you would build up to that crescendo of a Golovkin fight. You out here?